Is it finally that time for you to start ranking up in Rocket League, or do you just feel stuck right now in Rocket League? If either of those are the case, then this video is for you. In this video, I am going to lay out some simple ideas to start making some progress in the game of Rocket League, or really any other game that you might be playing. The first step is having some kind of action plan. Now, this could really be anything, but the thing that I'm thinking about most is some kind of training plan. Taking action on things in free play, working on skills that you need to work on in free play, whether that's car control, ball control, dribbling control, all of those things that are important, and knowing exactly what you're going to do. Don't go into free play, don't go into a training pack without knowing exactly what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be working on and how long you're going to be doing it. Take some time to write out exactly what you're going to do for this training session. The more focus and the more clarity you have on exactly what it's going to look like, the more effective it is going to be for you. Now, why do you want to know exactly what you're going to do? Because the idea of this action plan is that it is going to be repetitive. It's something that you're going to work on every day or whenever you have scheduled. And you want to be able to see the improvement. You want to be able to see that you are working on these same things every day and you can repeat those actions and see how you are improving on them. You can see the things that aren't working, the things that you're messing up on, and then the next day you can build upon that. You can try it again and improve. That's why you want to be working on everything every day or doing the same thing every day or whenever you're training, so that you are building a foundation, you're building a skill set, as opposed to just errantly going in and trying something for one day and then trying something else the next day. Once you have this action plan, it's important to notice that when you put it into place or when you decide that it is the thing that you're going to do, thoughts are going to come up. If you're not used to training, if you're not used to doing the same thing on a regular basis, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel different, and your old habits are going to come up. So really notice what your thoughts are. Notice what your feelings are and what you tell yourself to keep you from doing the action plan that you said that you are going to do. If it's loading up Rocket League, maybe normally you just hop into games. You're going to feel that urge to just hop into games. Take a second. Take a nice big breath. Let it out. And remind yourself that you have an action plan, and that is what you are in the game to do. You are going to execute that plan. You are going to spend the time training. You are going to spend the time working on the things that you say that you want to work on. As much as you might want to get into those games, the action plan comes first. The things that you want to do, that you said you're going to do, come first. Once you get that out of the way, once you do your training, once you do your practice, you can go play the games. And right now, we are working on something that will move us forward. And it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable for quite some time. Why? Because it's not your norm. Humans are creatures of habit, and we are building a new habit by putting this action plan in place. So understand that just because you say you're going to do something doesn't mean it's just magically going to happen. It's going to take some discipline. It's going to take some willpower to make it happen. And consistency is key here. Focus is key. Making sure that you set yourself up to actually get it done. And again, really pay attention to the thoughts you tell yourself. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, I'll just get to it tomorrow. This isn't really that important to me anyways. There was one point in time where you said this was important. There was one point in time where you said this is what you were going to do. Hold yourself to that, because tomorrow you will be able to build on it. Tomorrow you will want to have been able to say that you got the work done yesterday so that you can build on it today. And that happens every day. Don't let yourself off the hook. And really pay attention to those thoughts, and then find something that you can replace them with. An example is, it's not really that big of a deal if I skip a day. Find something that you can replace that with. If it's not that big of a deal, I made a commitment to myself and I keep my commitments. It is a big deal that I practice every day. I want to practice every day. Whatever it might be, whatever your replacement is, find that replacement for the thing that you're telling yourself to try and get you out of doing the work. The work is important. It's something that you said you want to do. Find that replacement thing or statement that you can tell yourself that gets you back in the mindset of doing that work. This is critical. It's important. Take the time to do it. Now that you have those statements, now that you have your action plan, set up a time when you're going to do it. How often do you play Rocket League? Are you going to do this action plan every single time you play Rocket League? Are you only going to do it 3 times a week? Whatever that looks like, set up your schedule and then stick to it. If it's going to be 3 times a week, make sure you're doing it those 3 times a week and stick to it. Remind yourself. Say those statements. I practice this 3 times a week. Every Tuesday, I practice X, Y, and Z. Just make sure you set it up on the routine that you are committed to keeping and then go for it. And then it just comes down to actually doing the thing. Work on your action plan. Have the steps that you go through every single time that you train, the 5 or 6 exercises, the half an hour of air dribbling, whatever that might be right now, work on it. Do it. Practice it. And make sure that you're in it every single time, focusing on how it's going and ensuring that you are being focused and putting in really good effort. And finally, this is the most important part. Learn from what happens while you're doing this training. It's not just about putting in the reps or putting in the time. If you're just mindlessly doing something, then you're not actually working on something. You're just doing something. This is intentional. This is focused practice. And so when you are doing these things, focus on it. Make sure you are paying attention to what you're doing, because the more you pay attention, the more you'll be able to learn from it. And here is a great framework of how to learn from your training. It's 3 simple questions. What worked? What didn't work? And what's next? When you are training, ask yourself what's working. What are the things that I'm doing that are getting me the results that I want? Next question. What didn't work? What isn't working? What are the things that are keeping me from getting the results that I want? How is something that you're doing not working for you? And then how can you adjust it? Which leads into the next question of what's next? How am I going to adjust? What am I going to try tomorrow that is going to maybe make me a little bit better? What am I going to try tomorrow that might be a little bit more effective? What can I try right now in the next 5 reps that is a little bit different than what I'm doing right now that might make me a little bit better, that might make this go a little bit more smoothly? Those 3 questions will give you a platform on what you can build into tomorrow. Because tomorrow, you're coming right back and you're going to do it all over again. You're going to take that same action plan and you're going to run it down and you're going to practice the same things that you practiced today. And over time, going through that process, committing to the action, taking the action plan, paying attention to your thoughts and feelings about what comes up before you do it, while you're doing it, and after you do it, being consistent and actually doing the thing. Following this process will allow you to improve. It will guide you. It will support you in getting what you want, whether that is improvement for the first time or getting out of a certain rank. Change something up and you will get different results.